Greetings, everyone, and welcome to our first celebration of Kwanzaa. Tonight, we begin, excuse me, where every uh, lasting movement begins, and that's not with strategy and not with slogans, but with unity. Unity is not an agreement, unity is a commitment. Tonight, we set the tone for the entire week. Uh, Tonight, let me make sure I have all my settings right here. Okay. Tonight, we begin with unity, and not as a slogan, but as a representation and as a requirement. Uh, we are here as a collection of opinions. It's not a uh, always an agreement, but it is a commitment to move together. And notice I said move together. Yeah, even when it would be maybe more prudent for others. For us, it is about our group and our commitment not only to each other but to our community. Tonight is our first uh, candle, our first lighting of the candle, and I will pass that responsibility off to Masada. Masada, would you begin our ceremony, please? Let me get you up here. I'm sorry. My bad.
And if you don't know what Kwanzaa is an annual cultural celebration observed from December 26th to January 1st, and it honors African American and Pan African heritage. So there are seven principles, and the seven principles we're going to start with the first one. Each of the 7 days of Kwanzaa is dedicated to these principles, and the first principle is going to go off of what Brother James was talking about: togetherness, unity. So the first candle, it's black. Kwanzaa has seven candles, three red, three green, and one black one. The black is in the center. And so we're going to like that to stand for unity as we all stand together as one. It's also in Swahili, it's called Umoja. Umoja. So this is what Kwanzaa is about. Welcome everybody. Welcome Brother Derek. Welcome Brother James, and welcome world to the celebration of just being together and being oneness. And I like to go back a day. Yesterday was Christmas, so happy holidays, Merry Christmas to everyone. I want to observe everybody's cultural religion, their cultural celebrations. Over here, we recognize everybody, and that's all we ask, that you recognize. You don't have to take in celebration. Just don't be a player hater. Don't hate on people's traditions. Don't hate on love. We all understand that there's a lot of things behind every tradition, every holiday. But if we're going to move forward in the future, we need to understand why, know what it came from, and how we turned it into something positive. Because the goal is to bring us all into a era of positivity. No more negative.
Amen.
Brother Derek, thank you. And I want to welcome you to our Kwanzaa celebration. Do you would you have a few thoughts on the concept of unity and what it means to uh, have unity among not only among us, but as our mission statement says, to acquire unity as a goal, not just as a token promise.
Yeah, Brother James, and good to see you, Brother Masada. You are the most appropriate person to kick this off, and this is going to be one of those nights I'm gonna learn a lot. See, now when I did, uh, I went back to school and early, I think about 2010, and got my master's degree in African American Studies, and we went pretty deep into Kwanzaa, and I'll be honest, I have not engaged a ton since then. My professor was Dr. Moja, by the way, and he takes tours to Africa all the time, and we were pretty immersed in it, and it was a learning experience, just like being back with a bunch of young people. But no, I think that unity is something that is much more difficult to achieve today. I think because Black people are across the diaspora, but particularly here in the States, we're so much more, there's different aspects of it. Like economically, we have Black people who make a ton of money, who see the world differently than Black people in Watson and Compton and English Avenue here in Atlanta. And so, um, and to be perfectly honest, sometimes they have privilege that allows them to not have to engage and be like us. Although there does get to be a place where we're all Black and we have to be reminded of that. But to me, the thing about unity, as you point out, it doesn't mean that we're going to all think the same. We're going to all see the world the same. But in the end of the day, there have to be some common principles, some common goals and beliefs that we can all gather around and be unified on and say these are non-negotiable. We all are in lockstep on these maybe two or three things that are about empowering our people, making our people understand who they are and whose they are and what we can achieve and why we need to be together on certain baseline things like, education,
Healthcare.
healthcare, respecting our community, how what we need to insist that our elected officials stand for as far as policing of our communities. As you said, even environmental injustice, because in a lot of our communities, they put things in there that are harmful to us. We may be able to bicker about things like voting, but at least to educate people about why, you know, where it has made a difference. So yeah, those kind of things. Food insecurity. There are some things that we should be able to be unified around. So I think that it's a beautiful principle because if you can't be together on, and again, I look at certain other communities, and this is one place I have great admiration for the Jewish community because they are really unified and it makes a difference in terms of how they are respected as a people um, across the world. And so, yes, unity is a beautiful first principle, and I look forward to hearing you break it down, Sada, tonight.
Um, another thing that I would like to also kind of bring to the forefront when we are talking about unity, and especially your background, Brother Derek, when you go back to the beginnings, you go back to the roots, and you've already mentioned the contributions of the Jewish community, the contributions of some other communities, and we, like I said, we might not all agree on uh, every subject, but we do agree that there is a role for everyone, and that is our strength. The fact that we, excuse me, the fact that we are open to that energy from everyone. And as I keep mentioning, there we need some ladies here. I know, all of us have went through that period where we've always had one close by. We need one now within our organization. We don't want everyone to think that we're misogynistic here just because we happen to to present this united front as for black men. Uh, I have to apologize. Demetrius had a commitment tonight. Something came up and he will not be here. But of course, this is a 7-day commitment. So you'll see somebody's face here every night, along with Masada's. Masada he is our candle bearer, and so every night he will light a different candle and tell us what it means. Uh, I see he has some things there in his hands that he seems to want to show everyone. Uh,
Well, we're talking unity, so I wanted to show them we're very we're not exclusive. We're very inclusive, but with the right mindset. As far as women out there, one of my favorite artists and one of my favorite things to reference is Tupac. We all came from a woman, got our name from a woman, and our game from our woman. It's time for us to heal our women and be real to our women, and that's in keep your head up. And I'm all about that. We're all about that. Just at a certain point when certain things have to start, there has to be a core. And I wish our core will consist of a woman eventually. Um, you said things earlier. We all have different ways and different mindsets, but we all agree. And since we've come together, we all agreed on one thing. It's going to take all of us. So that's the unity we're mentioning. So we know that we need women as well because I always break down the word women as one man, all together. So I got these out because I'm a big kid, you all. Kwanzaa, Christmas, holiday spirits, even going back to Thanksgiving and all. I love when we get together because in the South, for me, as in most black families I can probably speak on, it was the time where most families got together, and that's where the most love came out. Uncles and aunties weren't fighting; they were being funny. Cousins might have been fighting the kids or something. But we were having fun, but that's when you saw everybody getting along. Uncle Buck or Uncle Nuck who didn't get along, he just got out of jail or just got out of something. Everybody got together. So, like a big kid, I wanted to let brother Derek and them know that me and James is wearing his. You can't see his because he ain't in the camera. But so there's blacks,
yeah,
and on the back of it, it has us, and it says "I love me, not apologetic, be you." But on the front of it, it's the not apologetic world, and it has people in the countries. So it has men and women, and as you can see, it's not just all black or all brown. It's a lot different. So I wanted to let you know you have one of these on the way, and you have your own color. Don't worry, you don't have to. We all got our own colors. If you want red, since you're in the ATL, you get red. But
That's
this
nice.
is
That's
us.
beautiful. That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
So we're here to symbolize to the world that we're here to stand for something, and so we invite anybody that is on the same mindset and the same wave. We don't have all the answers. I don't have all the answers. Right now, it's four of us, five with Javon and six sometimes with brother LaSalle and them out there. But nobody has all the answers. We have to be a cohesive unit, which we are, but then we need the community help. We have community in the name for a reason, because we believe in unity with the community. So I do believe unity is in community, right? If you
Yeah,
take
there
it
you
out.
go. There you
yeah.
go.
So um, and that means a lot. So I have friends that are from Kenya. They speak Swahili. They speak five different languages. They want to know. They want to learn about Kwanzaa, which seems somewhat ironic, but that's how fast other things spread. Because even in countries and where in the languages it comes from, some of them don't know about it, but they can tell you all about Christianity or something other thing, and that's no knock to nobody. That's just spreading awareness. So with this, once again, I'm observing and honoring all traditions. We're just letting you in on what Kwanzaa is and making you aware of it. So please respect it as we respect everybody else's, because to me, Kwanzaa, it really is about unity. It really does start off with the black Umoja or Umoja. I don't pronounce English correct, so don't be mad at me, anybody out there hearing me pronounce the Swahili wrong. But that's what it's about, and that's what we're doing here. So, um, once again, the word unity and community to me means everyone together, men, women, all races. I would like to speak on ours first, because if we're going to divide ourselves, and we have to, because that's what's been taught, that's what's been happening since the early days of, I want to say, Cain and Abel, and we can go after that into the brothers of Ishmael and all the 12 tribes and all the other things, right? Um, Coming from our tribe, if you look like me, I want to say love to all you all and blessings to all everyone. Um, I went to sleep today earlier, took a nap. I hurt my hand yesterday playing with my kids. I went to sleep though watching Messiah and the Black Judas, and I forgot it's one of my favorite movies, and it's a sad movie because you see a lot of different things in there. You see a lot of us getting together at a time where we're still being persecuted. So you like, man, you think about the times and realize it wasn't that long ago. A lot of people, Mr. Derek, Mr. James, a lot of people are still alive from back there. Um, and that tells me that they've seen us go from being persecuted and strong together to
Yeah.
being persecuted and divided, as Brother Derek was talking about. And they did it with a hierarchy of, we already had the color and the shade from the house killer. If y'all all know what I'm talking about, I don't like to say the word no more. So from the house hitter to the field, right?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
We've been separated since then. It's time for us to get together, man. Before that, I watched the Chappelle series, and he talked about how he went to Atlanta. T.I. and them brought him to Atlanta, and they showed him where Martin Luther King grew up at. They showed him all the struggles, where people came from and how they made it. And I was just so happy, because I was like, man, they do got a lot of prominent Black people, and knowing that people like that make a difference. I'm like, why aren't we all together more? And so with tonight, and when I speak, I want to let everybody know unity means getting together. He had a Kaepernick jersey on, and I was like, man, that's just man. So more people are coming out and talking and standing up, but unity, what does it look like if we're all together? The Black Messiah and Judas. I went to sleep on the part where he went to talk to the Crown Bloods or Crown Crips or some gangs or something, and he asked them, brothers, what does it look like if we unite? And then they had to shoot out with the police, and then guess what? They united. And it just, I missed the Million Man March. I was too young. Probably, I think, yeah, I was too young, a little bit baby back then when it happened and all. The second one, and still happened. I want to know what that's going to look like. So when we talk about hope, we talk about unity, we talk about holidays and Christmas wishes is from the Santa, whatever Santa you want to believe in and all. That's all I want, y'all. I want unity and one love from us, so we can show it to everybody else, because even though we're persecuted the most, it's always that one. And Derek, you can, if I misquoted, brother, but they give their strongest battles to the strongest soldiers, or
Yeah.
And so we've been strong for so long. It's time for us to overcome. I know the song. It's time.
Wow. Brother James, I did a little research today, because I didn't want to just be, coming in here and only listening and learning. But you just mentioned women, and there's something that they posted here in Atlanta today, and I wanted to share. And it says Kwanzaa 2025 features several inspiring themes, including, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, Batiti, which means resilience, resplendent, resourceful, focusing on strong women. And this is from the St. Louis Arts Museum. While the official Kwanzaa website highlights themes, of course, practicing the 7 principles of dimly lit times, but the focus on, resilient Black women, which certainly has been the case. And you just mentioned something else, Masada, I wanted to also key in on. So the Million Man March, when Minister Farrakhan, I got pictures of us in Farrakhan. He came down, and we actually went to his home in Chicago, which was cool, because I knew things about him, but never really, knew a ton about him because, I mean, I'm Christian, he's Muslim, but we did a lot of work together in terms of, and so the president of the SCLC, who co-founded the organization with Dr. King, was the first mainline civil rights leader to sign on to the Million Man March. Because, Mr. Farrakhan was, he's super controversial, right? And so, but
Love
Dr. Lowry,
controversial.
yeah, Dr. Lowry said the principle of being unified over strong black men in our society superseded any of the differences that we had. And a lot of times we had campaigns down here and we partnered with the Muslim community. We partnered with whoever wanted to be on the same page on any, if you thought the issue was important and you were aligned with us, we wanted you. It was kind of the big tent series theory that they had. So I was actually the principal non-Muslim promoter of the Million Man March, and I wrote probably 15 press conferences, and we were there, and it was a cool. I have to show you whenever I get out that way. I'm gonna bring this picture that we took, looking out from the stage on to that marvelous men contingent that we had, which of course included women because they were excited to see black men come together over something. In fact, and he wrote something, and I have to pull it, and maybe I'll do it before for one of the sessions. He called them the 7 moonbeams, and these were the reasons that he thought it was important that we come together over that Million Man March. And so all of that speaks to the unity that this organization and our people in this country need to rally around.
Yes, and you said 7, so that goes back to Kwanzaa. A lot of things go with 7.
That's right.
So let me mention why in the celebrations and symbols. They're usually arranged traditionally on a straw mat, a kika, and then the 7. There are 7 candles again. I said the umoja was umaha is the black one. It's a communal cup for honoring ancestors. The actual the candle holder itself is called a kanara. This is a kanara, and I'm talking to everybody who doesn't know what it is because we started off fast. I know I always go fast, and then sometimes I have to slow myself down. But when you said 7, it made me think of again the 7 candles. And then so it's a 7 branch candle holder, and Musama Saba is the 7-day candle holders, 1 black, 3 red, 3 green, and representing once again African and Pan-African flag. It's a communal cup for honoring ancestors. So with honoring the ancestors, I always say this: the oldest ancestor that we know of is Lucy. Lucy is the first woman that they found, the black woman, right? Yeah. She's the first. The first one they talk about in the Bible that was a great person was Mother Mary. However you want to picture it, you can picture whatever color you want. It was a woman that gave birth to Jesus. So when we talk about unity and we're talking about what we stand for, we're hand in hand with a woman. We all know we can't come from women. We all know a man's strength is a woman's strength is a man, and together we create each other. We don't create one or the other, we create each other. So if you want to know more about Kwanzaa, follow us these next 6 days. It goes until the 31st. And that on that day, it's a traditional feast that's going to be held when it does happen. It's just a good tradition. Brother Derek, I don't celebrate it all the time. We don't celebrate holidays. The way I celebrate holidays is with my family. We go out for trips. This is the first one that we were home for Christmas in a long time. And it felt cool and relaxed. We usually go out. We spent last week in Orlando going out. And I'm going to say what I said last week. I met so many people that didn't look like me and were happy I was talking to them and told me they had the same feel of what's been happening, that everybody's tired of what's going on. Yeah. And that to me is a big symbolic thing. When we get tired, a lot of things start happening, and that to me is good. It's taking something bad to get us there.
Yeah,
It was needed. So
that's
with
right.
unity, that's what I'm speaking on. Still, everybody don't get lost. We're speaking on Kwanzaa. We're speaking on unifying, because the other side is unifying. And I can tell you this: if you have 1,000,000 people and they have 1,000 people that are unified, the numbers don't matter anymore. The numbers don't matter. So to us, we want a core group of people that feel the same way, and I want it to be 100% of the world. But I know it's not going to be 100% of the world, but that percentage that hears us, um, don't just hear us, listen, and listen with intent. And our intent is to unify, is not to divide.
I really have
I
to step
say,
here because
I say,
I do remember that.
um, I have to step in here because when you talk about unity and you talk about how people go about doing things in a different manner, one of the reasons why I am a part of this particular group, I'm calling us a group right now because I don't want to get into politics or anything like that. Right now, we are a group of people that are unified towards a common goal. But when you speak of how we achieve it, see, without you, Masada, and especially you, Brother Derek, I would be that radical guy off in the wilderness, talking about breaking car windows and things like, you know, uh, there are certain traits, however old you get, you still are a man or a woman, and you are, as that piece of paper that they pointed us with says, you are endowed with certain inalienable rights. Well, I always thought mine was to raise hell if you F with me, but you know, anyway, when you speak of unity, I look back at the times when Brother Derek and people of his ilk did their best work. And I wonder how now, as we always point out, we had people that walked back and forth to work. And now you can't even get people to not just, you don't have to go to the store. You can go to your phone and unsubscribe. You know, we don't have that sense of that economic unity that we used to have, and that's something that I'm going to leave to some people that are much more qualified to talk about that than I am. But that sense of unity also means economic unity, and if we are more aware of what we do with what we can and do control, meaning our economics, especially to a large degree, uh, where we have already been surrounded by food deserts. We're already surrounded by economic deserts. So our sense of unity needs to be more than ever. And whether you start out with a group of two, a group of three, you have to have that core group. And once again, I'm sure this is something that Brother Derek can speak to more than I. But the sense of unity is the first day of Kwanzaa, and not only the first day of Kwanzaa, but the first day and the first step toward having the type of independence that we crave. Brother Derek, I think you're muted here. I think maybe
No,
there.
I think you're absolutely right. We economically, that is a key part. You know, interestingly enough, I called a couple days ago to set up a meeting with Reverend Jamal Bryant. I don't know if you all are familiar with him, but he was the principal person who called for and to spearhead the Target boycott, which has been extremely, uh,
Effective.
yeah, it has. He is about his church is about 10 minutes from my house, and so when I have my grandson, I have to go by there every day to take him to school, pick him up. Now, I have not been with him since he was a young minister back in representing the NAACP back in 95 or 96, and they invited him down to the annually on the King holiday. The family, Mrs. Coretta Scott King was alive then, and Bernice King, Reverend Bernice King, Martin III, I think, and Yolanda, the other sister, was also there, and they'll go out onto the. There's an eternal flame in the pool. There's a pool, and you'll have to kind of lay out this walkway to get out there because you can't get out there otherwise. And he was down, and I happened to come across a picture of him as a young 25, 26-year-old there, and I'm sure he's getting his mind blown to be part of that, that celebration in honor of what Dr. King had committed to bring us together as a people and to move us forward. And so I want to give him that picture. So I called to tell his admin. He's a big time guy now in one of the largest churches in this country, and very influential. And so he won't remember me, but he'll remember that picture. And I said, I have something very special I know he will treasure having. And so I'll have to report back on how that goes, but I'm sure it'll go well. But just the fact that he and other people, lots of people, and it calls for part of being unified, I think, involves a willingness to do some sacrificing, because you got to unify on some principle. And part of the principle, sometimes we talked about what they did in Montgomery. They were committed to walking, whether it was 12, 13, 15 miles to get to work, instead of paying Pharaoh, who was oppressing them and marginalizing them, to ride that bus when they had to do it as second class citizens. So they sacrificed. They decided to be unified in sacrificing, their feet, their energy, their everything but their spirit and their humanity. And so whatever it is that we're unified on, it's sometimes it's going to require putting some skin in the game and willing to give something up. And that's what the Target boycott was. But you said, okay, you're going to pull the DEI practice. You're going to say that doesn't matter because you're going to kneel at the feet of the king. So then we're not going to spend our money with you. And that's what people said in Montgomery, where they said that Black people could never come together on any principle. That was the spirit of what Montgomery was. But when Rosa Parks said, I'm not giving up my seat, and they said, well, this is one of our finest citizens, so we're going to come together and stand together. And they did so for 381 days until it broke the back of that city. The bus company was about to go bankrupt, and they said, okay, we yield. We will desegregate the buses. And so, but it takes something. And I think that we have to help educate and encourage our people about how we can make a difference and we can challenge the powers that be, but it takes being unified. So thank you for bringing in Kwanzaa, talking about and celebrating this great first principle of unity.
Yep. Emoji reminds us that nothing else works without unity. And you said commitment. Unity is not an agreement. It definitely is a commitment. It's emotional closeness. It's not emotional closeness. It is to me too. It's follow through. It's you committing to be on here. You committing to work with me committing to work with Brother James the other day. I can tell you what commitment is to me and what unity is. Other day I was at the studio. I had other things going on the day before, and I told Brother James I was going to be over there. My mom passed, so I went over there to be with them. And the black people, it turns into a repass to another repass to being at the house till they trying to get you to stay. So I missed him that day. The next day I was at the studio. It got really, really late. I still stopped by his house real quick. I did a drive by. That's commitment and that's follow through. I told him I was going to do something. I'll follow through. That gives him the belief and the hope in me, and that makes him want to be more reciprocal. That's what we're missing when I talk to brothers out there. It's not that they don't want to unify. It's not that they don't want to be united. It's that for so many times I've heard other ones tell me that they've met other people and it's come short because of whatever's keeping us back. Personal trauma we had before. Everybody's not trusting of everybody else. So that's why I would like to say thank you all. And that's what we're coming here to get together for, because it's also trust. It's trust that that person will reciprocate the same energy. It's trust that when you say, let's get behind a Rosa Parks, or you get with a Martin Luther King, or with a brother Elijah Muhammad gets with people and they're saying, hey, we're going to do this. It's trust that other people are going to do it with you when you're not alone. So it's answering the emails, it's keeping commitments, it's telling the truth, and it's practice every day. Every day. Not just when we feel like it. That's the part I brought up coming from the studio, because I was hella tired and hungry with the studio. I had my food in the car. I pulled up quick. Gave him dap, said,
yeah. But you did need to be where you were the day before, because that brother needed your support when he lost somebody, and so we kind of understand when things happen. But at the end of the day, you're right. We do need to be accountable, and so you did that. You made sure you did.
I have to share y'all that story, Brother James. I'm not going to take up too much time with that, but I have to tell you the story. So the brother who I call the brother, his name's Kofi. Salute to this brother. I met him on a plane. He was with his wife and his baby, who's like 5 now, and he was like a year old when they came on the plane. I had paid for an upgrade seat, but my seat was in between them. The lady, the stewardess, had a problem with me giving up my seat for them, and I didn't even remember that. He reminded me and his wife when he was telling his brother who I was, and he was just so astounded that I was willing to give up my seat for him to sit with his wife and baby. And I was like, I didn't even think about it. I forgot, and it was just something I do. But I only bring that up not to highlight me, to highlight the commitment. He lives in Baltimore. His mom lived here. I was like, yo, well, she's going to be my mom. He introduced me to her, the family and all. She lives around the corner. I'm going to go help. She got sick, went to live with him in Baltimore. He's been out here. He called me and told me, hey, I'm here for that. I came, and they just felt so good by me being there, and it helped them out. And I looked around the room, and it was a lot of my people in there, our people, and it was a lot of other people as well. And he said that his mom was that house that everybody ran to, the house that any kid ran to. So it was all white people coming up, introducing themselves, talking about her and things like that. And to me, I wish I had a camera, but I didn't, because I wanted people to see that. Just meeting this brother off a plane, trying to do something just that comes natural, helping somebody else out, turns into nothing but love, turns into I'm meeting other people. And their mom was at a Mason Lounge. They had a wake at a Mason Lounge. But just meeting other people who had the same belief and same dream of us being together. And that was commitment that I went over there. I was tired as hell that night too, but I wanted to show that. So I feel like if more people see that from not me, but just all of us doing that together, that's what Kwanzaa means to me. That's what commitment and the follow through. So I wanted to speak on that, because I followed through with not just meeting him, not just talking with his mom, not just trying to say, hey, condolences, but actually showing up.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us for our first day of Kwanzaa. I'm talking to our audience now. And we look forward to your joining us tomorrow for the second day, and every day for the next 7 days. And with that, I think we should close. We don't want to turn this into another We the People session. This is all about Kwanzaa and about the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. So thank you for joining us, and we will see everyone tomorrow for day 2. I
See
appreciate
everybody tomorrow for day 2.
Man.
What will day 2 be, brother? Let them know what day 2 is going to be.
you're the candlelighters, son.
That's my responsibility. Okay,
That's right. That's,
I
that's
like
right.
that. Well, day 2, day 1 is unity, umoja or umoja, self-determination, kujagalia, or kujagala, kujagala. I am very horrible at words, you all, but basically it means self-determination. So that's what we're going to be here for tomorrow. We will see you all tomorrow. Thank you all. Remember, umoja or umoja, unity. That's the foundation and the principle, and practicing it daily. So we're doing this for 7 days, but the practice is daily, 365 days a year.
Have a good night, everyone.
Ashe.
And
I say peace, light, and love.